Joining me is Ziya Meral, a British-Turkish researcher for the British Army's Centre for Historical Analysis and Conflict. Ziya, thanks for joining us. At the moment, no claim of responsibility. What do you conclude, though? What sort of hints do you think there might be from the way this attack was carried out and where it was carried out?
Obviously, we might never have a confirmed responsibility claim, or somebody who claims it might not be behind it. ISIS has a track record of not claiming any attack in Turkey with high civilian casualties. It hasn't done so. But if you look at previous attacks in Turkey that involved this type of killing, maximum civilian damage with use of weapons, etc., and given the current context that actually Turkey is pursuing ISIS militants in Syria, and just 10 days ago, Turkey lost 14 soldiers in combat against ISIS near the town of Al-Bab, I think it is fair to point towards ISIS direction, particularly because Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS, has been one of the first speeches he gave recently was actually singling out Turkey and showing it as a legitimate target. And we have seen a lot of chatter in ISIS networks. But it could also be other groups. It could be Al-Qaeda-related groups or some other jihadi groups angry at Turkey for shifting sides or realigning its Syria policy. So at this stage, I think it is plausible to assert that this is ISIS-related, most likely to be, but it's still yet to be confirmed.
And it has been, the past year, 2016, has been a particularly violent year in Turkey. We've seen several of these such attacks, all of them involving loss of life.
In fact, I mean, ISIS-related attacks have taken hundreds of lives. We have seen them targeting weddings in Gaziantep and political protests, but we have also seen a surge in terror attacks from Kurdish militant groups related to PKK, and all comes within the context of Turkish involvement in Syria directly, but also a very heavy-handed security policy that it follows in southeastern Turkey to contain the PKK threat. It has been a truly volatile year for Turkey. I think more than 1,000 Turkish soldiers have been killed over the last year and a half in ongoing clashes with PKK, and now we are seeing continual reports emerging from Turkish engagement in Syria as well too. So the Turkish government desperately needs to rethink and recalibrate security policy. And we see some signs of it in the Russian-Turkish agreement, as well as Turkish desire to untangle itself a bit with the engagement in Syria. But 2017 is set to be a precarious year for Turkey again.
So how do you think they will react to that security challenge they face?
Obviously, there are three kind of aims in Syria at the moment. One is pushing ISIS away in certain strategic locations. That automatically both targets ISIS, and Turkey has claimed to kill a leading ISIS figure over the weekend and hit some 17 ISIS targets since Friday. On the other hand, it is denying area in northern Syria to PKK-related groups, which could be used to launch attacks against Turkey. And it's at the diplomatic level, it's trying to find a way forward in Syria and actually contain its own losses. But ultimately, the domestic context in Turkey remains very precarious for so many reasons. Unless Turkey ushers a new political process to address grievances or Kurds and some of the real life issues that they face, and also look into even perhaps engaging with PKK directly. Once again, it will always be vulnerable to terror attacks coming from PKK. And ISIS and other jihadi networks are actually a new phenomenon for Turkey. Turkey does not have a history of being recipients of such an attack. In fact, previous attacks before the last 2 years has related to Al-Qaeda hitting foreign targets, not necessarily targeting Turkey state or the country. That is yet to be seen in regards to how Turkey will handle its countering violent extremism policies, or is there such a policy to address some of the new networks that are emerging within the country that has sympathies towards jihadi cause, which is a new phenomenon. That is yet to be seen.
OK, Ziya Meral, thank you very much indeed for that analysis.